facing environmental challenges, the need for sustainable materials and alternative technologies has never been more urgent. This workshop aims to provide valuable insights into the latest and emerging building technologies, as well as sustainable materials. To officially commence this insightful workshop, I invite our esteemed Director Professor Dr. Ramesh Srikonda, Chairman of SVS Shri KV Vishnuraju, co-patrons HOD Dr. Srinivas Deketi, Vice Principal of VIT Professor M. Srilakshmi, HOD of Civil Engineering at VIT Dr. K. Vijay to light the diya lamp.
शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापं दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
A feast for your eyes and ears because we have a dance performance coming up to enthrall all of us with the magnificent beats of Bharatanatyam. Without further ado, let's welcome Asmi Kushu to stage.
शिवाय नादर्दनितिं तोंदर्दनितिं तिल्लाना नादर्दनितिं तोंदर्दनितिं तिल्लाना गुणशील कार्य तत्पर से कदी मानुष कदी देवताई दिसे कदी ही मृदु कदी कण कर वासे तिज बिन जीवन नीरस दिसे श्री सत्यागमन मी करित से रूप गुणशील कार्य तत्पर कसे कदी मानुष कदी देवताई दिसे कदी ही मृदु कदी कण कर भासे तिज बिन जीवन नीरस दिसे श्री सत्यागमन मी करित से ताकिट तक तक छणु तक देरा ताकिट तक तक छणु तक देरा
It is now time for the rendition of our SPAV anthem. Please join me in inviting Prachi and Samita on stage.
नभ से निकला सूर्य सुनहरा, उदय हुआ नवचार। कला योजना में देश हमारा, अब रचे नया संसार। नभ से निकला सूर्य सुनहरा, उदय हुआ नवचार। कला योजना में देश हमारा, अब रचे नया संसार। सुलभ संस्कृति शान हमारी, सर्वधर्म है पहचान। कला योजना में ज्ञान हमारा, देश का बढ़ाए सम्मान। धन्य हो जाए धरा हमारी, चलो इसे पुलकित बनाए। कायम रहे प्रकृति हमारी, हम ऊंचाई को पाए। नभ से निकला सूर्य सुनहरा, उदय हुआ नवचार। वास्तुकला योजना में विद्यालय हमारा, अब रचे नया संसार। अब रचे नया संसार।
Thank you, Prachi and Samita, for that melodious performance. Today, we celebrate the collaborative spirit of our two institutions, School of Planning and Architecture Vijayawada and Vishnu Institute of Technology Bhimavaram. We commemorate our shared commitment to academic excellence, innovation, and growth through this event. Let us now see short video clips about our institutions. Professor Dr. Ramesh Srikonda obtained his bachelor's degree in architecture with first class distinction from JN Technological University, Hyderabad. He completed his post graduation from Anna University. Okay. Yes, sir.
Only two lines. Yeah. You are, yeah. No, no, no. That's enough. Go on.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
So, Honorable Chairperson or Chairman of Sri K.V. Vishnuraju, esteemed guest and chief guest of today, and all the guests, faculty, staff, and my dear students. It is a warm welcome to this national workshop on sustainable building materials and alternative technologies. It is my privilege to address all of you, especially for this workshop, which is essentially required for the particularly today's context. And then specifically when you talk about the sustainability, we know very well it has got three distinct areas where we can focus: economic sustainability, environmental sustainability, and then different item, what generally we look at it is a social sustainability. All three aspects are essentially required to the humankind. And today, the topic what we have taken, where building industry is almost contributing 25 to 30% of the greenhouse gases. Especially we have to have an alarming thing where which in which we can able to address it to reduce the impact on climate change. How do we mitigate? In what way, what materials to be selected? In what extent new technologies can be brought into the construction industry? It has become one of the crucial and critical aspect of our day. So what we have to think about the alternative technologies. We have traditional practices and we have several practices. Generally what we are doing it, whether these practices is really going to helpful to us, or it is in case if we are not practicing and bringing new ideology, new thought process, definitely it is going to accelerate the situation of the climate change. So what we have to do, we have to think about alternative technologies, either in the form of thermal comforts, or maybe how what technology we have to use it to understand about the built form, and understanding about different spaces whatever we are designing, how best we have to make the spaces as sustainable as we can able to practice and we can able to mitigate the climate change. Another part is every building material is going to contribute some extent of the adverse effects. What extent of the adverse effect it is going to create for us, because we are going to use as one of the material where we are going to house everybody in that particular building. Either it may be a fly ash based item, or it may be husk based item, or it may be any other item which it is going to create a lot of impact on the environment. How best that energy efficient materials we can able to think. Such materials also has to create a kind of a thermal comfort or comforts what we are expecting it each and every space what we are designing it. That is one of the important challenge for especially engineers and architects we are having it. So these areas where we can go, nowadays we talk about the bamboos and we talk about the recycled materials, and also we talk about the earth-based materials, that is rammed earth and all other things. What location, what extent such materials can be replaced and made, we can use it so that we can able to see and achieve our target. And then technology, if you see nowadays, the latest technology, we are keep talking about the 3D printing. Even it has got its own limitations. What are all those limitations? Where such a kind of a technology can be used, in what extent it will be helpful to make a sustainable practice what we are aiming for. Then modular fabrications and other things. If each and every item has got its own limitations, you cannot use any technology just like that to use the technology. The context is the important thing, to whom you are addressing, in what place we are doing it, and what volume we are working out. That one is also govern us to take an appropriate decisions in this regard. And smart materials nowadays, specifically we are talking about self-healing items, and the quality of the indoor air is depending upon the material surfaces what we use and the equipments what we load. All these two things generate certain extent of the pollutants, maybe in the form of microns, or in the scale of microns, or maybe in the form of the particles. All such kind of a things with the number of air changes and the kind of a materials what we use, what extent it is really polluting the indoor environment, and how we can able to bring proper ventilation and proper surface treatments, and all such items are essentially required to the architects and engineers. So these are the areas where we wanted to focus it specifically about the building materials and sustainable practices and with the alternative technologies. It may be a fabricated technology, it may be pneumatic structures, or it may be steel structures, or it may be tent structures, or it may be any number of alternatives we are having it. The greatness or noiseness is depending upon what context and what volume to whom and where we are using it on the basis of the technical know-how what we have in our hand. So this particular workshop, I am just thinking really it is going to helpful to our students and also enhances the knowledge among both the students of architecture, planning, and both the institutes. This will be really going to get benefited. We can share our knowledge. You ask questions. Inquiry is one important thing. Wherever, whenever you are having the doubts, you please get it clarified. This is a nice platform you are having it in this workshop to interactive way and student-centric workshop we wanted to conduct it. So I wish you all the best. This workshop of 2 day, 1 day workshop is going to be helpful to everyone. And by the end of today, we are going to improve our knowledge levels. I wish you all the best. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Now I call upon Khyati to introduce Chairman of Sri Vishnu Educational Society.
K. Vishnuraju Garu is chairman of Sri Vishnu Educational Society, a distinguished organization committed to provide quality education across various disciplines. With BTech in Chemical Engineering from Regional Engineering College, Tiruchirappalli, now as NIT Tiruchi, and MS at Michigan Technological University, USA, he brings a strong academic foundation and global perspective to his leadership. His career has begun at EI DuPont in USA, where he focused on research and development in polymers, ceramics, and adhesives. Upon returning to India, he took upon leadership roles as managing director of Rasi Cement Limited and Anjani Portland Cement Limited, where he honed his administrative skills and carrying forward the visionary of legacy of his grandfather Padma Bhushan Dr. B.V. Rajugaru. Our chairman has transformed SVES into a premier educational society. Under his leadership, SVES has grown up into a 10 academic institutions spanning engineering, pharmacy, dental, men- managemental studies. In recognition of his contribution of education and industry during the Golden Jubilee celebrations of NIT Tiruchi, he has honored with distinguished alumnus award presented by Honorable President of India. A visionary leader, KV Vishnuraju Garu, continues to shape the future of both industries and academia, integrating academic excellence with industry's relevance and preparing students for the global connectivity world.
Now it's time to move towards Memorandum of Understanding between the two institutions. I request respected patrons, chief patrons, sorry, I apologize, sorry. I request the principal of VITB, Dr. M. Vinu, SPAV Dean Academics, Dr. Lily Rose, and Registrar Shri Umameshwara Rayo, HOD Dr. Srinivas, Dr. Anil Sir, Professor M. Sri Lakshmi, VIT, Principal of VIT, and Dr. IRK Raju Garu to accompany the chief patrons on stage. Now may I request Dr. Vishnu Raju Garu to address the gathering.
Yeah. Thank you, Vaishnavi. And you made me a doctor today. I'm not a doctor. And respected director of the School of Planning and Architecture, Dr. Ramesh Srikonda Garu, and his entire team, Uma Maheshwara Garu, Dr. Lily Rose, Srinivas Garu, Dr. Anil, and my team from Bimvaram, Dr. Venu, Dr. IRK, all the esteemed faculty from SPA and faculty from SVES, and most importantly, all the students of architecture and civil engineering who have come from not only this college but also from Bhimvaram and Narsapur. Good morning to all of you. And first of all, thank you, sir, for inviting us. It's indeed a honor for us because SPA is one of the most prestigious institutions in the country. And even though I'm a chemical engineer, I keep telling my friends if I didn't take chemical engineering, I probably would have been an architect because I really like architecture. And I have, other than my grandfather, the founder of the society, whom probably they mentioned in the audio, I had two role models I used to follow. One is Mr. Ratan Tata, because I'm from the industry. And I don't know how many of you know that Mr. Tata is an architect. He did his architecture from Cornell University. The second person I really admire because when I studied in the US and worked in the US, I used to visit the buildings designed by a very leading architect called Frank Lloyd Wright, and he's an inspiration for me. In fact, some of the students who have come from Hyderabad would have seen our women's campus. So actually, you know the topography of Hyderabad. So when this campus was being built, right in the city, there were a lot of rocks. So the architect told me to remove all the rocks. I said, nothing doing, I'm not going to remove the rocks. Then they tried convincing me that Vastu, you should not have rocks there. I said, I'm a believer in Vastu, but I have my own interpretation of Vastu. So they said, Northeast, you cannot have a hillock. So I said, in Northeast, I think you can have a water body. So I took inspiration from one campus, a house designed by Frank Lloyd Wright. It's called Falling Waters, and I'm sure some of the architects here know about it. This was a building built in 1934 in USA in the state of Pennsylvania, and it was built in the estate of a very wealthy businessman, and beautiful property, and maybe about a 2,000-acre estate which had a river going through it. And at one point there was a waterfall there because difference of levels. So I think what Frank Lloyd Wright did, he built the house over the waterfall, and that's why it's called Falling Waters. And it took me 3 attempts to visit that place because it's heavily booked. They have limited quota to go there, and I had the chance to go there about 4 years back, and I spent a whole day there. That was an inspiration for me when we were building our Hyderabad campus. So that rocky area which we had, we created an artificial waterfall with a recirculating pump and a sump. And we built a small building, a very small building, about 3,000 SFT, abetting the waterfall. And we call that falling water. So, in fact, I'm very happy that this meeting is taking place because I sincerely believe that in your field of architecture, a lot of creativity is required because you have to visualize something. And that is today something which even the companies are looking for when they come to our campuses for recruitment. Creativity is one thing which they feel is lacking in our students. And Dr. Ramesh in his opening remarks talked about the building materials industry. I'm also a culprit, sir, because in my cement industry also we used to pollute quite a lot. Now, 40 years back, the MD of a cement company, when he was going to his cement factory, you probably would have seen these big preheater buildings where you have the chimney. So if the dust is coming from that, the MD was happy. That means his company is running, his factory is running. Today, if dust is coming, the pollution control board comes and locks the factory. So we have come a very long way from there, not only in alternate materials but also in the energy. We used to consume something like 1,000 kilocalories per kg of clinker, the material used to make cement. Today we are all come down to below 700. There's a lot of change in the technology, in the preheater technology and calcination technology. The other area where we do a lot of damage to the environment is in the mine, because all of us have limestone mines. And on paper, when we actually dig the land, because it's all open cast mining, and we form benches, we are supposed to again plant trees. But you can visit many of the cement factories around Vijayawada towards the Telangana border, towards Nalgonda. You don't see that. Okay. But I've actually visited a company, one of the most popular gardens in the world, in a small island called Victoria in British Columbia, Canada, where old cement factory, after it finished its entire reserves of limestone, the managing director of that company, what he did is those 4 or 5 benches of limestone, they converted that into a wonderful garden. And today that's one of the biggest tourist attractions in the country of Canada. It's called Butchart Gardens. Some of the students can do a Google search, Butchart, Butchart Gardens, and it attracts millions of tourists every year to see this wonderful botanical garden there, which was once upon a time an abandoned cement factory quarry. I think today in India also, we have also changed. So closer home, if you see, many of you know Ramco Cements, you see their ads all over the place. So Ramco Cements has got number of factories, and if you go to their Tamil Nadu, the first unit they set up near Madurai, they are now trying to do something very similar to what they have done in Canada, and they have already created a mini forest there, and they're bringing in a lot of bird life and all that. So I think things are changing, and today's topic I think is very apt for the younger generation. There's a lot of potential to go for alternate materials, to make buildings more sustainable, to get into better environmental friendly materials, even conventional materials like cement, more blended cements. If you can go for that, you'll actually save the environment. And I think there's a huge potential. The reason why I'm very keen to come here and meet Dr. Ramesh and the entire team is because we don't have architecture in our campuses, but we have civil engineering department. And I see there's a lot of synergy between civil engineers and architects. So the aim today through this MOU is to take support from the faculty and SPA to work together. If students of both architecture and civil engineering can work together, also if faculty can work together on joint research projects, and also I was mentioning to Dr. Ramesh today morning, the Bhimavaram town, because we have a connect there, we are trying to do certain things in the town in terms of urban parks, canal beautifications and things like that. And we definitely look forward to support from the knowledgeable faculty from SPA. So once again, good morning to all of you. I wish this workshop all the very best, especially the students. I hope you get a lot of good takeaways. Please meet your counterparts from different colleges, network, try to keep in touch, and I wish this workshop all the very best. And once again, I thank Dr. Ramesh Garu and his team for making this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sorry for not saying your name properly. Now I request Director Professor Dr. Ramesh Srikonda to felicitate Shri K.V. Vishnuraju Garu. And now I request Shri K.V. Vishnuraju Garu to felicitate Professor Dr. Ramesh Srikonda. Thank you so much, Director Sir and Chairman, for accepting this token of our appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we take a short break, we invite you all to join us for a delightful high tea. Please proceed to the designated area and make yourselves comfortable. We request everyone to return in 20 minutes as we start with the workshop shortly. Enjoy your tea. Please proceed to the exhibition hall.